Hello everybody, welcome back to another reading. Today we're taking a look at the case of Brittany Tee, who disappeared on the 1st of November 2023, so less than a year ago. She was from Brookfield, Massachusetts, and she just walked out the door at about 8:30 p.m. She had her iPad, her wallet, and her cell phone on her as she walked because her car would not go. Her phone last pinged at the Brookfield State Police Barracks on Route 9, or at least near there, and she was never seen or heard from again. Now, at the time of her disappearance, she worked as a manager at a liquor store called Bay Path Spirits, which was also in Brookfield, Massachusetts. Her boyfriend, whom she lived with, was investigated, and authorities state that there is no evidence of foul play, and that the boyfriend has cooperated with the investigation and is not a suspect. According to Brittany's family, her disappearance is completely out of character, as she would normally keep in close contact. And even though there isn't really much information on this page, it also doesn't state that there was any reason for her to be wanting to leave, or that there were any issues with her relationship or her work or anything like that. So no real reason for her to walk away and not come back. She was 5'6", 120 pounds. She wore a black winter coat, a hooded sweatshirt, jeans, and work boots. She was a Caucasian female with brown hair, blue eyes, and her ears are pierced. And that is all we know about this case. So not much to go on. But of course that also means that nothing can really muddy the waters for our reading. So in any case, I was asked to do a reading on this case. And in order to do that, we're going to start off with the vice versa deck, which is already on the table. And for any further questions, moving on to the Santa Muerte deck, which is this one. So as per usual, I'm just going to start shuffling the cards. As soon as I have about a table full of them, we're going to stop and take a look. So without much further ado, let's get started. Okay, we're starting off in an interesting fashion over here with the devil on the top left, and a 5 of swords and a 3 of wands, followed by the sun in reverse. So I'm just going to grab all these 4 because this kind of already tells the story. Now I'm not entirely sure what the devil's doing here, because usually there's some type of connection there that is something that's not healthy for them. Usually some type of substance abuse or an addiction of some sort, but it could also be that there's just a bond with somebody or something that you do not experience as healthy. And I kind of wonder if that is the case here. Like maybe there was something going on that made her feel like she had to leave, but she felt unable to do so. There is some struggle here, like verbally, mentally. Maybe there's some argument happening in the background, maybe even inside of her mind, who knows? Like maybe they're the only person who's really arguing right now with themselves, and are not sure what to do, because the other 2 cards that I have in my hand here are the 3 of wands and the sun in reverse. Now, sun in reverse, basically losing hope, losing light, losing happiness, joy, that type of thing. And the 3 of wands kind of in reverse, also pointing towards not really having any idea of where to go. Maybe because of course her car did not start. So maybe she's like, what do I do? And then over here we have the 5 of cups on its side. So maybe also a moment of, I could just kind of go back to what I have left, or I could take the bridge back here. Not really sure what she wants to do at that point, but she does know that she needs a break from the fire in the background over there with the Four of Swords. So maybe that is why she decided to walk out that day, even though there was really no reason for her to do so otherwise. It feels like an internal struggle. May not have been apparent. Perhaps, maybe it wasn't even about the boyfriend. It could be anything else that was going on in her life that she was kind of secretly struggling with. I saw no indication that there was anything going on or amiss in the relationship or in her relationship with anybody else, but who knows, maybe this is a secret thing, like I said, like something brewing, a bit of dissatisfaction that may have been there for some time. And maybe normally she would have chosen to just go back and try again or try a different tactic with something, but this time she chose to take a step back and relax, take the bridge and go for a walk. This is where the initiative comes in over here with the Ace of Wands on the second row. So kind of looks like sun is setting and she's like, I'm heading out with my wand in the air and bird as well, pointing towards freedom. As you can see, the bird circling up on high usually symbolizes freedom. So she was like looking for a way out. And this was the moment that she decided to grasp. So I'm guessing this is the point where she leaves. And then we have the whole section that we don't know anything about because nobody has seen her since. The first card we have of that lineup is the Page of Pentacles in reverse. So maybe we're running into an issue here. She did have some of her things on her. Maybe there were other things that she found herself lacking. Maybe she was like, I can't really go anywhere. There is Temperance on its side here. So maybe we're also just kind of like having issues balancing ourselves. Maybe also, I guess, being perceived as balanced by others. Like the angel on the card is giving us a pretty intense stare, and also their third eye appears to be activated. So it's kind of like maybe also inner turbulence or people giving her a stare or something. Something is maybe throwing her off here, and something is definitely throwing her off with her resources as well. Maybe she's actually walking there thinking, oh, I should have brought this or I should have brought that, and look at all the things that I don't have, and that is not pleasing her very much. We have the Ten of Cups in reverse, so we're definitely not feeling very happy. We're very dissatisfied, but we are trying to make the best with what we can here with the Eight of Pentacles. So we are trying our hardest here to work on what it is that we're doing, even though we're not feeling very good. So this is basically a mind over matter. The Pentacles tend to be a very practical suit as well, where the Cups are more emotional. So maybe they're thinking in a very cold, calculated manner, like I need to do this, I need to do that, I need to do that, like a list of to-dos that she's trying to work on and trying to stay practical with her head in the air, basically. At least trying not to let the emotions get her down. We have the Ten of Wands in reverse, so we are walking away from civilization. This person appears to be heading towards houses, like the final stretch of their trek with the weights. But it looks more like she's not able to find the place where she can drop off the load. So she may be wandering around a little bit like what to do with the things, with herself basically. But also the load that she's carrying, which may be mental rather than physical. We have the Page of Swords. We have the Knight of Wands in reverse. And the Ten of Pentacles upright. Okay, that's interesting because that is usually a very practical card or very positive card, like seeing some type of inheritance, or at least something that you can count on being there for you, something to rely on. But we're starting off here with the Page of Swords, and the Page of Swords is fairly gung-ho about things. Maybe they're actually out there talking to people, trying to grasp people's attention and telling them her story, maybe asking for directions. We're taking up things, maybe taking up offers, maybe trying odd jobs or something. This doesn't have to be the same day, but more like we're just trying to do anything that we can think of. And then we end up here with the Ten of Pentacles, which makes me wonder if she encountered somebody or something that was willing to help out, or she saw some type of opportunity that made her go, wow, this is exactly what I need, and I'm going to go for this. So there may have been some of that going on. Let's move on to the Santa Muerte deck over here. See what else we can find. So it's kind of on its side, but also kind of in reverse. It is the Nine of Wands. They look to be trying to harvest something. So Nine of Wands is the card that leads up to the 10. So we are still looking for some way to drop our load here. Maybe this is her being carefully optimistic about this new opportunity that she's found, where before she wasn't sure she was ever going to find what she was looking for. Now we're like maybe carefully optimistic by accepting something that somebody's offered, or at the very least looking forward to finishing whatever it is that she started here. Like not really dropping the load yet maybe, but some way to wherever it is that she wants to go. An opportunity, a path has opened up, and her actions are now headed toward that path. Let's see what we can find out about that. We have the Ace of Swords. Okay, so somebody may be telling her a lie here that leads her to believe that there is an opportunity here for her to take advantage of. So she may have run into somebody who had some type of offer that may not turn out to be true, or she just had a thought about a new idea that was not the best of ideas. She may have some type of, what's this, Santa Muerte herself. So this is death over here. Okay, so we're ending something. I think this new idea is perhaps to end the situation that she was in before. And the crib is empty, but the Santa Muerte herself appears to have something on the way. It's definitely one of the more hopeful looking death cards that I've in my collection of decks. So I think this may be her also being kind of excited about a new beginning. So it doesn't have to be a bad thing, but the idea, initiative that leads there is not a good one. At least it's not in a positive direction. Being in reverse, whoop, quite a few cards here. Let's take a look what we got. We got the 7. Oh, it's a whole stack. All right, so maybe we're going to be through here a little faster than usual because there's at least 6 cards here. Okay, so a new idea that may be leading to a new beginning. It may not be the best idea, but it's what we got. We got here the 7 of Cups. Okay, so now we're wishing for things. So maybe she is hopeful, but it's not certain yet that she's actually going to be able to achieve that, what she's looking to get. 5 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so maybe we don't have the resources that we need in order to get the things that we want. So she may be kind of like, almost like betting on a horse that she hopes will win, but she's not entirely sure. She just really, really likes the name and the vibe of the horse, like that type of thing. I'm not saying that she went to the races, obviously, or that she went gambling, but it is a little bit of this idea was not the best, and it might not even succeed, but she is going for it anyway because of the 7 of Cups here. So just wishing, hoping for it to come true. Very hopeful indeed here with the Queen of Cups. So maybe she also had all of her hopes and dreams settled on this thing. So she is definitely looking at something new to try out that she's hoping is going to lead her to something amazing down the line. 7 of Wands is a challenge, though. It could be that she's kind of lost as well. I'm looking at this forest, and might be that it is a little too complicated. There's too much ins and outs, things happening, people involved, for her to be able to see her way through successfully, at least not super confidently about that. We have Justice here. She might want to be sure to do things the right way. And the positive outcome may be dependent on just a hair's breadth, as they call that, like in horse racing as well. Like you barely managed to finish first because there's only a tiny difference between you and your competitor. I'm thinking that because I'm looking at the scales and one side is empty and the other side has a couple of butterflies landing on it. Now, butterflies don't weigh a whole lot, but if it takes the weight of a butterfly to tip the scales in a positive direction, then it's going to be a very close call, whatever it is that she's doing. We have the Four of Pentacles in reverse, so we're not balancing our finances properly. We have the Three of Cups also in reverse, so maybe people working against her that may be against her in general. Some type of disharmony in any case. So it could be that somebody thought that they could help her out, but then she's like, I actually don't have the money. And they're like, okay, fine, well, then you're wasting my time and I got nothing for you. At least they're not working for her, they're working against her rather, or the situation is working against her. However, she's not feeling too bad about it because we have the Nine of Cups over here, so she's still inspired by whatever this may be. Don't know exactly what's happening here. Let's go take a look because so far we're not learning too much. We're just seeing that she is trying things and not too successful at it. Trying very hard though here with the Knight of Pentacles, but the Knight of Cups in reverse, and this is the, I believe, the King of Pentacles. Yep, King of Pentacles. Looking at the other side of the King of Pentacles, we may be trying to postpone our rewards by working hard at something and trying not to feel any type of, I guess, negativity towards it. We're trying to look at the bright side while working hard on whatever it is that this may be. We're looking at what looks to be a kingdom in the background here with a cow as well. Like this could be your herd in the future. Maybe she's looking for something that she could somehow inherit, like not really like literally inherit, but more like if she were to, I don't know, whatever idea she may have gotten, like to run away and start working at a place where she expects to one day be able to get a great position. Like that may be what we're looking at here. Like they're trying to work very hard, keep their head down on something, and then eventually get the best outcome. It could also be because of this hope and dream situation that we're having over here, that it is something that she was expecting to go down quickly and hoping to return home victoriously at the end of the day, like that type of thing. It seems to be something that happens really, really fast. She was just looking for a change over here, for a rest with the Four of Swords, and then something came on her path that made her go, okay, if I can make this work, then all my problems are solved. And it may just have been the same day where she is going off on this mini adventure, or she thinks that's something that may be able to help her. That's what she's doing right now. So it could be that somebody offered her something that was amazing to her and may turn out to be too good to be true. In any case, they are not making it easy on her, whatever this is. Six of Swords in reverse. We have the Moon. Yeah, this is the Moon. And the Ten of Swords. Okay, oh, interesting that this Ten of Swords looks like it's underwater with this coloration. I know it's above ground, but the fact that we are starting off on a boat, and then we have the Moon, which is also in water, and then it looks as though this Ten of Swords is on the bottom of the ocean. The way it's colored makes me wonder if she was taken to another location with a lot of water there. Things were hidden there, and this may be somebody who has been doing these types of things for some time, because these towers have been long struck by lightning a long time ago. So maybe somebody who has had several bad things happen in their life, and now they're kind of like drawing people in, almost like a black hole situation, because we also have the black hole over there. This person may have charmed her with some amazing gifts that she maybe thought were going to be her over here, but turned out to be empty promises. And then we have the Ten of Swords at the bottom of the lake almost. Ten of Swords is a very dramatic death scene type of card. Usually it means that we're looking at things in too negative of a light, and really it's not as bad as it may seem, but it does also show a lot of negativity, a lot of maybe panicking as well. And like I said, it really looks like they're at the bottom of the ocean. I was also looking at the arm here. It almost looks as though that part has already been like settled on, like a little bit of sediment has already gone on top of that, or kind of encased the arm. So maybe this is something that has been here for some time. Maybe a prolonged worrying situation, or really seeking the bottom of the lake or wherever it is that they have, like a bottom of the river or something. It kind of looks like that may be the case. May also be that there's just an accident happening here. She's trying to work something out and something happens that leads her to go somewhere, like maybe fall in the river or something, fall into a lake somewhere, and then become hidden from the world with the moon. And she ends up basically in this situation. But usually the Six of Swords is being led to another location by someone or something, so not necessarily of her own volition. She may agree with it, but in this case, since it's in reverse, I guess she doesn't agree with it. But usually it's not something that you do yourself. At least that's usually not how I see it. So let's see if we can find out about the rest situation. Okay, again, with the Five of Pentacles, we have that over here. So this may have been like a premonition over here with the Five of Pentacles. We already had that one earlier when she was like hoping that things were true. So it could be that she was being promised something and she's like, oh man, I hope that this is true, because if that were true, then all my wishes would become true and things would be great. But what if it's not? And then over here, when we already have this whole panicky situation, we now see another Five of Pentacles in reverse. So I feel like now she no longer has the option to wish, because the thing that she feared actually has come true, and now she is in trouble. Like there's things that she cannot do anymore, things that she's lacking. And again, we have the Death card over here. This one is definitely less positive. More of a finality type of card here. It's not quite, where is she, the Santa herself? She is underneath here somewhere, I think. There. Yeah, there we go. So this was beforehand. We're closing one chapter, going on to the next, and then we have this one. So this one is definitely more negative, definitely more definitive as well. So I think that this may be an ending to a chapter that she did not choose to end. This is something that is enforced upon her. So this may be a very unfortunate situation here. As I was talking earlier about how she may have ended up in the water, she may have very literally have stumbled into a lake or a river, or I don't know what's near there, and met her unfortunate end there. Which would also explain why the phone stopped pinging, because it would no longer be capable of pinging if it were underwater and got waterlogged. So maybe just seeing a lot of water here. So I'm wondering if that is definitely involved here. But let's take a look what else we can get. So that may be what's going on. Oops, now flipped. We have the High Priestess over here. Some type of insight. Maybe the cards are all on the table of this other person or the situation, like she now knows what's going on. She may also be trying to perhaps evade negative consequences by trying to be as intuitive as possible, trying to see beyond what normal people would consider. Maybe avoiding trying to get through that veil over there. Let's see, what do we have here? We have the Three of Swords on the end, so there is definitely a little too much involvement maybe of other people, or her mind is a little bit too crowded. We have I think this is the King of Wands, but we're looking at the back, and I'm also kind of looking at this large Sphinx-like statue in the background there. At least it looks Egyptian, and it kind of overpowered the card when I first looked at it, like, oh, there's some amazing large entity being or something lording over us. And even though this is supposed to be the King of Wands, it also has a bit of a feel of, well, you can think that you're the king, but ultimately I'm the one who has something to say about stuff. So maybe there is definitely an encounter there. I'd almost think like some type of mystical experience, almost like something that is overpowering her mind and her sense of being in the world. Like if you're lost in the wilderness, for instance, then suddenly the mountain that you're on seems to take on a life of its own, because it is now in control of you, because you're at the mercy of whatever elements are there, since you are too far away from civilization to deny any of that. So this kind of feels like that big overwhelming feeling of, oh, I'm not in control here as much as I would like to be, because the King of Wands is normally very actionable. So she may try or want to try things to help her out, but it is not going to help much because there's not much she can do. We have here the Lovers in reverse. No way to help her now. Once again, with a very large being towering over them in the sky. We have Justice in reverse, so also no justice. And again, with this Egyptian symbology in the background over there, which is interesting because this one also looks very Egyptian over there, and this one as well. This is also very Egyptian. There's a lot of Egyptian references in this deck, and particularly the cards that we're drawn today. Also, this whole scene over here with the burning bush, and I think this is the Tree of Knowledge with the snake and everything. Very biblical, and I'm guessing that she is just encountering forces that she can definitely not fight against because they're just way beyond her, basically. And in this case, Justice with the Egyptian symbology back there has a lot more vibes of the underground weighing of the person's heart to see if it's lighter as a feather. You know, that symbology that they had over there in Egypt. People after death would have to basically prove that their heart was lighter than a feather, otherwise they would go to a different place than where they wanted to go. So that's kind of the vibe I'm getting from that card. So this may be a very final thing here. I'm thinking that whatever happened over here is where she left this mortal coil with this stretch of cards right there. She just is encountering too much overpowering feelings, emotions, maybe even entities that just make her feel like there's nothing she can do. She's powerless and has to surrender to whatever it is that is overpowering her in that situation. So let's see if we can find her at any point. Are we going to get any new information on where she is? Are we going to find her? What's happening? What needs to happen for her to be found or for us to learn more about her fates? Oh, there's one on my lap, and then there's this bunch. Okay. 10 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay, so we're losing some type of inheritance here. We have the Queen of Wands, who is very actionable, and she does look a little shocked. So maybe somebody has been counting on something, and they're not going to get it. And then the Queen of Wands, who I'm guessing this person is going to jump into action because that is exactly what she does. Queen of Wands always jumps into action when there is trouble afoot. So Page of Cups over here, negative surprise, followed by the Nine of Swords, which is a lot of worry, and then the Sun in reverse. It kind of feels like somebody has a problem that they need to fix. And while fixing that problem, they encounter her. That's kind of what this seems like. The thing, the Page of Cups surprise, leading to anxiety and also a loss of joy. Like if we're still in the water, this type of situation, it could be that somebody has a boat or something, and for whatever reason, the boat ends up sinking in a certain area. And they're like, oh my God, we have to get the boat back up. So, and they get a bunch of people in that can go ahead and get the boat off of the bottom of the lake. And while they're doing that, they discover her, like basically nearby maybe. And then they're like, oh my God, this is the worst. Like imagine what you would feel like if you felt or if you found the deceased body of somebody. Basically things would no longer seem as important as whatever this was, because there's far greater things happening than the boat sinking like that. It's just an example, but it could be something like that. Like they have some type of situation where like, oh my God, I've lost everything, or I need to do something in order to reclaim what I'm standing to lose here with the Ten of Pentacles, which is usually some type of inheritance or something. They spring into action, and then during those actions, they encounter her remains or something along those lines, or they discover her and are like, oh my God, this is so much worse, and they feel terrible about it. But they also kind of get stuck in their own thoughts about it, because we have the Knight of Cups over here, so she may not immediately feel too much for Brittany or her relatives. It's more maybe that she's feeling, or he, whoever this is, I'm saying she because it's a Queen of Wands, but it could also be a he, that they are feeling some type of way about the fact that they had to be the ones to find her, like that type of thing. Some people are just like that. They don't want to be inconvenienced by anything. It's giving the vibes of wanting to construct a building somewhere on a field, and you have to bring on some prospectors or something to check that there isn't like a rare species living on that particular piece of land because it's endangered or whatever. And if you find the endangered species there, that means that you can't build there because it needs to be protected land. Like we have patches like that in the Netherlands where they have to check for a certain type of rodent. And if the rodent lives there, then you can't build anything in that area because that rodent's protected. So it's kind of like they're looking for a new opportunity to be developed because they're kind of losing out on something. And then they set into action, they're checking the field, and they're like, oh my god, the creature lives here, we can't build anything here because of the thing. Oh my god, that's so terrible, and what am I going to do now? And now I'm going to have to find another place, blah, blah, blah. Like that type of mindset. A little bit on the selfish side. Let's see though, because now they may have been discovered, but are we actually going to learn about this discovery, or what's next after this? Let's get a few final cards in. Wheel is turning over there. Is this the front or the back? I think it's the back of the wheel. Let's take a look. Oh, actually, oh, it's not the wheel. It's the magician, is it? Actually, no, it is the wheel. But we are looking at the front because the back has the magician over there. That's why I thought it was magician, but actually, no, it's just the front of the wheel. So there are things changing after this. So things are now afoot. The game is afoot. We have the King of Swords here. Somebody's coming in very practically to try and sort this out. And then we have the Tower. Okay, so definitely it is striking somebody like thunder on a clear sky. Also looking at the eye up there, so it's kind of like now suddenly everything is in view, and now we're looking at the reality, and maybe even though people were hoping for something else, kind of secretly maybe also suspecting that they weren't going to get a happy ending out of this. Now that it's actually there, it's still a great shock. So there may be somebody who comes in to try and first of all confirm that it's her. That might be a scientist type of person who is taking this very seriously and trying to make sure that they're doing the best that they can while keeping their emotions out of it so that they can be as objective as possible. And then that is going to deliver the shock, I'm guessing, to her relatives, because it's of course something that you never hope to hear. On the one hand, you want information about what happened to your loved one, and on the other hand, it's not news that you were hoping for. In any case, that is what I'm seeing for Brittany. I hope you found that interesting. Make sure to leave a comment and a like. That really helps the channel along. If you want to subscribe, that's even better. I like to see the numbers rise. That means that the messages are also reaching a larger crowd. In any case, hope to see you in another video. Thanks for watching, and bye-bye for now.